It's the Media Chatroom, and we're here to break down some of those hot headlines. Now, right now, y'all know Jeezy is trending because of this interview that he did with Nia Long yesterday. Half of the people going crazy because they say Jeezy was flirting with Nia Long the whole time, and the other half are going crazy because he gave some insight as to why he's filing for a divorce from Jeannie Mai. And we are here to report it all, but we're really here to break down the code as to why he filed for a divorce, because I know y'all was hearing them, but y'all wasn't listening. So we're gonna do what we do best over here, and that's break it down, break it down, break it down. But before we get started, y'all already know I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you can become an official Chatty Patty lover. And I promise you're gonna love it here. And make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you know when we drop our next video. Now y'all, let's get into it. Now y'all, Jeezy said when he rolled out this time, he wasn't coming to play. First, he went ahead and hit you with the book Adversity for Sale. Then he came out last week and dropped the CD for y'all to be bumping in the streets. I might forgive, but I don't forget. Then he came back around and hit us with a therapeutic session with Nia Long. And I think that he gave that to us because we keep saying he private. And so he like, well, if you want to see something, here you go. Leaving us with an intimate yet vulnerable interview. So y'all, this interview was really like a layout so that everybody can see and understand this new album that he has, I Might Forgive, but I Don't Forget. And it gives us the framework as to where he is right now in his current state of mind. Now, the interview was good. And there's these little short clips that's going around of him actually addressing the reason why he's getting a divorce. But that clip is going viral because they was hearing him, but they was not listening. I keep telling y'all. So in order to understand why he actually filed for a divorce, you had to watch the entire interview because it was sprinkle, sprinkle, drip, drip. Meaning he left crumbs all over. And actually, this interview just confirms what Young Jock stated 2 weeks ago while he was on DJ Vlad TV when they asked him his thoughts on Jeezy filing for a divorce. Check this out.
Young Jeezy recently got a divorce from Jeannie Mai.
Well, filed for divorce.
Filed for divorce, fair enough. They're reportedly divorcing over family values and expectations. First and foremost, are you surprised?
I'm not.
No?
And so he may have married her because of her core values. There's certain things that she will not do because of her family. That's the reason he was willing to buy into that and tie into that. See, you gotta get off the surface, nigga. The surface looks good, but we know underneath the surface, it be other stories going on. Let's break it down. Pushing a new album. About to drop a book. It's got different deals. People around him who's had a certain level of success. Although Jesus had a certain level of success, there's certain things he has not done in his career that puts him at that pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he felt like, now's the time that I could share this world with somebody on a real level. But I need a candidate who's not gonna fight me, who's not gonna go against me, who's gonna let me lead, who would allow me to be who the fuck I am. And I think she sold that for him. She gave him that. But then after they got married, she didn't have a job no more. They got a new baby. He on the road promoting a new fucking album. Then after the album, guess what? He's on a book tour type shit. Nah. Out here living his life and come home to probably some old calm. Or what he want to be calm, but she like, no, I need you here. I need to do this, that. Ain't no telling what they got going on. You just never know. And it might not turn out to be what he thought it was, and vice versa.
She was married to a white dude once before. She said that she like her white meat, but she like her dark meat on the side.
Yeah.
Turns out she was married to her first husband, her ex-husband, for 10 years.
Yeah, you know what that means.
And they got divorced because he didn't want to have a baby with her. She get married to Jeezy, they have a kid, and still end up getting divorced.
It ain't hard. It's easy. She typically wanted to marry white for the status of it, for the classification of it. That's understood. Okay. You feel me? But she's willing to date black on the side. Black on the side is gonna give her a taste of what she doesn't get in her regular life. This is like right now, there's some people who vacation for a living and work part-time. That's a 1%. And there's some people who work for a living and vacation part-time. That's the average. You follow where I'm going?
No.
the black guys like the black man to her at that point in her life when she made that statement was possibly like the vacation. This is the this is to set my future up and I'll vacation on the side.
Got you.
Okay. But it's different when you vacation for a living. Jeezy probably gave her that energy. She like, oh, just give me a ooh, I'm in the know, I'm in the. But then when you live it all the time, you realize like you can't handle him the same way you handle that white man. Possibly, you can't say what you say to this man, and he gonna act the same way. But if you say some shit off too far to the left, it ain't gonna be hard for him. Yo, you got me fucked up.
Did y'all pick up what Young Jock was putting down? Now, him saying it without confirmation is just his opinion. But this interview actually goes and put a stamp on everything that Jock said. Now, I broke it down for you, but if you want to watch the full entire interview, make sure that you go over to Jeezy's YouTube page because it was a really good interview. And as you watch that interview, you will see the chemistry between him and Nia Long is hot. But aside from that, Nia Long did a really, really excellent job. Just to give you a better picture, it's more like a Oprah's Masterclass meets Soul Sunday. And a lot of people are wanting to know why did Nia Long conduct the interview. And in my opinion, you'll see that they're kind of in the exact same place. They are transitioning from these public relationships while healing and being in a state of evolution. So it was a lot of relatability going on. But nonetheless, let's listen to these clips so that you can understand why Jeezy filed for a divorce.
Are you guarded? Because you seem guarded.
Yeah, very. One thing is my relationships have been very much on the surface when I started losing a lot of people, right? Because you don't want to get
Are you talking about love relationships or homies, like people?
Homies, and then even love relationships I've been in where, you know, people just ain't right.
You do realize, and I've had to learn this too, because I can be guarded as well, right? Is if you are carrying that, you attract that. So if someone else is guarded or someone else is not being their full authentic self, it's because in some sort of way, we haven't settled in.
Even now we're doing the work. That don't mean everybody else is on board. And that's the crazy part.
But that's the thing. You got to let them go. You got to let them go and you got to let them be on their own journey and you can't fight for it anymore. And you got to love them exactly where they are. And you got to say, baby, you know what? The hardest thing to do is to walk away from someone that you still love.
You ain't tell me you was a pastor too.
No, I'm just speaking from my own, speaking from like,
I 1000% agree
experience.
Because the hardest thing I had to do in life was walking away from everything that I knew that could support me. We can't connect because we're doing too much time fighting each other.
Absolutely.
Instead of fighting for the relationship. You said if it couldn't work, then you would leave.
Yes.
Even if there was a family, even if there was kids involved.
If the other person is not willing to do the deep, hard work, then you stay. And when you stay, you have to make yourself smaller to stay, to survive.
1000% agree with you. What happens when you're a man and you want nothing more than that, right? And that's not what you're getting on the other side. And there are kids involved, right? And there's somewhat love there and you understand that somebody else might have their thing, but they're not taking this journey with you of healing. Because I think love is two people healing together and giving each other the space to do so. And the thing for me is, when I went to visit my mother that day, I went to forgive her, but I also went to tell her that I'm gonna stand up for little J.
That's right.
Right, the little J that she put in that position. And I think a lot of my healing journey, especially in my real life, had a lot to do with me never standing up to my mother the right way.
That's right.
Which made me be a certain way in real life. In my life, I wanted to have a family forever.
Yeah.
I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be the person.
To get it right.
Get it right.
Me too. I wanted to get it right.
To be right.
Yes.
To do all the things. And when you get in that space and you're letting your inner child down and you're not protecting them, and that's making you shrink in situations like that too.
Men do.
Yes, because if you're not appreciated, if you're met with resistance, if you're met with that inner thing that somebody else has from their thing,
but
that's
to me, that's fixable.
You got to want to do the work.
I agree.
But you just said clearly, if the person doesn't meet that, you out.
Everyone has a cap on their capacity. Mm-hmm. And if their capacity is full, you could be doing backflips, front flips. You could be the best. The sex could be amazing. All these things could be amazing in that relationship. But if that person's capacity and desire to grow isn't there, then you hit that wall.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everyone that hits the wall should give up.
Right.
I'm saying that if your partner hits the wall,
right,
and you're not quite there yet,
right,
in your personal growth,
right,
you have a big decision to make.
If I'm ready and my partner's not, what happens?
Well, how do you know she's not?
Let's just say I knew. Like it wasn't. What do I do? You're my sister right now.
I'm your sister.
You giving me some advice, hypothetically speaking.
Well, you don't want my advice because my advice is I'm out.
Really?
No, I don't give up easily.
Right.
I will never give up on someone I love. I don't care how high we are or how low we are.
That's how I feel about it. I love me now.
Yeah.
There's a point I didn't. So I can't give up on myself.
That's choosing yourself.
Is that wrong?
No. Women want leadership. They want to feel protected.
Do they want leadership?
Well, it depends on the woman.
Right, yes.
Depends on the woman, right?
Right.
And it depends on where you're leading me. Because if you're leading me someplace where I don't want to go, then no.
Right.
We're not doing that.
Right.
But if I trust you.
Well, where does the trust come into play?
Well, you got to know each other. You got to be, you got
to know each other, you have to be transparent.
Absolutely.
Open book.
If you've done all of this work and you've given yourself that grace and you've given yourself that space to grow and you've given yourself permission to love self, right? Then what happens when a man gets to the point where they're just like, okay, I'm filing for divorce?
Integrity intact. I could never say anything that would not honor somebody.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you that this has not been a easy journey. Right. I can tell you that I'm saddened. I can tell you that I'm disappointed. I can tell you that I'm uneasy. Right. But again, like, God has put me in a different path, and that path is going to entail for me to take care of myself and to love myself and to be in the best situation that I can thrive as someone who's been through all the things that I've been through.
It's kind of something you can't explain.
Yeah, you can't. The real thing is like, I don't like to fail in anything.
Me either.
And,
I don't want to lose. I don't want to fail.
I don't want to fail, especially when I know what
you've poured in.
Right. And, as I sit across from you, like I can only be responsible for myself.
True.
And I can only do what I can do, right? And I can't expect someone else to do what I'm doing.
But did you go to therapy with her?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
So you actually addressed it,
right,
tried to work through it, tried to do the work, and it just was like not happening.
Okay, y'all, so I hope that all that made sense because I tried to really put it together so that you can understand. Because he was dropping crumbs all over the interview. Now, y'all, let me just put down some of the stuff that I picked up along the way. In the beginning, Jeannie Mai actually wanted to do all this changing and was accepted to the direction that he was given. Because y'all remember, at a point in time, she was very vocal about being submissive, which means coming up under his leadership as a husband. Watch this.
I'm going to say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man. Let me explain. I'm a very dominant woman. I own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to have those people. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home, I like the idea that my man leads us. Doesn't mean that in this case, Jay makes all the decisions for us. That doesn't mean that when he says, how are we spending our money or where are we moving, that I just say, yes, sir, or yes, your honor. Like, it's not that. It's a, you know what? I think that we would do best here. I want to do this. And he takes the decision, he formulates it with our overall vision, and he leads us. And I like to submit to that. My mom has a very strong force, and she took over a lot of decisions in the household, to the point that my dad, unless it was always going to be a fight, he was like, you know what, go ahead, whatever you want to decide, go ahead, and I'm just going to do me. And that causes a wedge, and I can have that tendency. I'm just saying, for me, I can have that tendency to follow like my mom, because it's what I grew up in and I saw it.
Now look, y'all, here's some post interviews after she gets pregnant and married. And y'all look, her tune starts to change. So y'all listen, change is now becoming about self-awareness. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to start to change unless you are aware that you need to change and you actually want to change. So some of the things that he may be bringing to her attention, because she's not self-aware, she's not ready to change. And she's now also starting to see Jeezy as an equal versus the leader of the relationship. Listen to this.
I don't expect somebody to change for me, but I want them to grow and to become better versions of themselves for them. Like the person who, my favorite quality in a person that I think is so attractive is self-awareness. I love when someone's self-aware, to be like, you know what? That was kind of narcissistic of me, or that was kind of selfish of me, or that, and then whatever you see when you call that out, do what you got to do in order to kind of grow out of that, or stop, or draw a boundary between you and that person. For example, I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. I've seen it in my grandmother. Saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me, right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person, to mirror things back to you, where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I had it, but nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you, because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy, and here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that, to the everyday person, from friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. But to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it, so we had to work on that. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love, and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do and function the way I have for the last 40 years when nobody else had to stop me. But this was something greater that I wanted, and also a great challenge to myself to say, what if, now that I know it exists and the dragon's there, what if I got rid of that? How do I kill that dragon or store it in its place so that it never creates havoc in my life? And that took work. So for me, I think I don't want somebody who doesn't change. I want you to change and grow, if it means growing into an even better version of what I fell in love with.
So y'all, there's a lot of things that happened at the beginning of their marriage. Jeezy's mom died, and Jeannie getting pregnant a few months into their marriage. Both of these things caused them to re-evolve into different people, and they could not collectively come together to move forward. And I believe that Jeezy did try, because throughout the interview, he stated that he really wanted to be married. And in his divorce statement, he stated that it was not an impulsive decision. And collectively, it seemed like they are in agreement that they know what was the reasons for them not being able to move forward. Just like throughout the interview, as well as in Jeezy's statement, he said that he's going to focus on healing. And y'all, Jeannie has been saying the same thing, because in this interview that she did, one of the things that she said that she was focusing on was healing, as well as starting to get a voice for herself. And to me, that further confirms that she possibly evolved from wanting to be a submissive wife, especially after having a daughter and wanting to teach a daughter to be independent in a modern world. Here's her latest statement in regards to her divorce.
In your silence, like you're going through, you're meditating, you're thinking, what have you learned sitting in your feelings about yourself?
I have learned that I have to be mine before I am anyone else's.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I'm really working on finding my voice.
Now, like I said, I do not think that this is going to be a messy divorce. So no back and forth slander. Even if she does a one-on-one to tell her perspective of the marriage, it's going to be more aligned with her not wanting to give up her independence as a woman. And to be honest, I don't think she's going to even do a one-on-one because she's going to be very careful as to the things that she say because she has a very black audience. And she's going to have to be very careful as to the things that she say in regards to the black man. Now, since Jeezy's interview, Jeannie has spoken out by posting on her Instagram. And people have tried to associate this post with the interview that Jeezy did, but there is no correlation. In her Instagram post, her caption read, "My greatest accomplishment in life will be who I raise." And this is more for moving forward because of the things that she's changed about herself in order to be in that relationship. All the things that she set out not to do and the changes that she made will be for who she raised.
When you're in a relationship, it's an opportunity for achievement.
Yes.
That is why I'm in my relationship. You just nailed it right there. What's that thing called again?
Self-expansion theory.
I'm all about the SET. That is yes. That is me. Everybody always asks, why in this relationship has it changed you? Has it made you softer and different in these different ways? And of course he's a great man, but what is it beyond his looks or his accolades that make me so attracted to this relationship and working for it? Like actually working for it, like changing myself, growing, doing things. It's the ability to achieve.
So y'all, that is it for now. We have broken everything down. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And Chatty Patties, you already know what time it is. It's time to get in those comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this interview. Did my breakdown of catching all the sprinkles help you guys understand why Jeezy actually filed for a divorce? And do you believe that maybe there was a chance that they both misrepresented themselves before they got married as to who they were and what they possibly expected out of a marriage partner? Let me know all y'all thoughts as it relates to this video and this couple. And before you go, make sure that you guys like and share this video. And make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel so that you guys can become an official Chatty Patty lover. And I promise you're going to love it here because we make great content. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you know when we drop our next video. Now, y'all know my next place is going to be to those comments because y'all know I got to know what y'all are saying. And then from there, it's back to the headline so that I can prepare another video. So that's all for now. Until next time, bye-bye.